Okay, so welcome to Horizon Forbidden West, any percent Ultrahard for Act 1. This is starting for a new game on the hardest of 6 difficulties for Horizon Forbidden West, ending in Repair Bay Tau. Ultrahard is an interesting little run. All of the machines have 9 times as much health as they do in story, which is usually where we start a new game run. Fun little thing, we have to change our HUD settings every single time it resets. Yeah, so we're doing the same amount of damage. Our enemies are doing a lot more, and they have 9 times as much health. It's swell. So
we should keep going.
yeah, we have to play the game differently, basically. So here we go. I'm starting to slide cancel, or try to, but Aloy's getting stuck. I do a double slide, so sprint, crouch is the input. And it allows us to move as fast as we can on land. Here I'm falling because that's the fastest way to get down. But because you're supposed to swim, but swimming is slow. And I'm aiming just to cancel the fall animation here. As I go, I do have auto pickup on, which is a great setting. And here I have to shoot that down. The ladders are a problem. The ladders are always a problem. I would blame the lack of aim assist in Ultrahard. But I also can't hit it half the time on the first shot in story. So, you know, skill issues. But here we have our first skip. And really what we're just doing a little bit of a shorter run and not having to climb a ladder. The fact that there's 2 burrowers there actually could be a problem here on Ultrahard. I'm doing a more circuitous route up to here, because otherwise the burrower will try and shoot me off. Here I'm aiming for a different reason, bringing up our last 2 reasons to aim. I'm running down just to get this checkpoint and then continuing on my way. But aiming does a couple of other things. It gives Aloy a bigger hitbox when she lands, so we could land on that vine and jump up. It also gives us something called Hunter's Reflexes, which puts us into a little bit of slow-mo while we're aiming, especially if we're jumping or sliding. And when we're jumping, that will also let us control Aloy in the air to do precise jumps that are totally not realistic. But yeah, so here we found some dead people, and we have to figure out what's going on.
That explains the smell.
There's not really much going on in this room. We're about to make a grappling hook. I'm also looting some stuff. I'm actually failing at doing a little, like, 2-second dialogue speed up, but anyway, yeah, so the principle that's going to sort of continue through this is, for skips, is that we would like to run a shorter distance. We would not like to climb, and we would not like to swim. I'm also going to be looting a lot. We do have to kill some things, including a final boss, so I would like to have as much chill water and machine muscle as possible going into that fight.
That part of a machine could help fix the gears.
Yeah.
Alright, I think I have what I need to repair the tool. Or maybe even make something better.
You could use this workbench.
So now we make the pull caster. It is a grappling hook as well as a sort of pry thing. So anything that has this blue thing on it, gotta do. So in the spirit of avoiding climbing, we get to this next room where we're supposed to scan this, grapple up. We do a heavy cancel to climb up quickly, which I will talk about later. I should have aimed, I did not, so I got a little bit of a landing animation in here instead of climbing all around the room. I'm doing some wall jumps to get up here and toss the ladder down to Varl.
There you go, Varl.
This ladder is a checkpoint. There's another one that's going to come up that is not. So, like I said, looting more, so I'm getting these chests, which I normally wouldn't do. But I would like their resources. Yeah, so pull this, and then we're going to go into the Silent Strike or stealth hunting version of the tutorial, or section of the tutorial, which actually gives us some really good information. Which is
I need to sneak up on it to take it out with my
these burrowers, they are the weakest machine, and they have like 270 health.
Check its patrol path.
In this difficulty. But in order to be able to do this tutorial, we have to be able to silent strike and kill them in one hit. Which means that our spear is our best weapon, which is
Gotcha.
normally not the case and very different from how we normally play this game. I'm going around looting because, well, shards are helpful, that's the currency.
Nothing you and I
But
can't
also I
handle.
would like a burrower circulator. In an effort to not get killed by a burrower, I'm scanning with my focus to see where they are. The silent strike prompts in this game are something. So I was hoping to get a silent strike, instead I'm just going to heavy, critical strike, and kill it. There's two more. I'm paying attention to the sort of alert indicators on my screen because going straight for these critical strikes is actually not the best plan. It can get you dead, but you can sort of see if something's about to kill you behind you. So I get a burrower circulator. I would like two. I do not get two.
Yeah, I know.
One
Didn't have a lot of time to shave when I was
is
trying
all
to
I
catch up
really
with you.
need.
Don't worry, it's not permanent.
And even then I can
Sorry,
continue
my
without the
whiskers
one.
offend
It's
you.
not
I know
a
you
total run killer. So we jump over there and
There's a barricade here.
I loot something that I probably don't need to loot.
This for later.
Get a health potion
Guess
there.
that Oseram didn't
But
have
around
a
the
chance to
corner,
use it.
all of the blue items have blast paste,
Looks like another
which
cave.
we will use to
While we're
make
here, maybe we can
bombs
make some traps of
or
our own.
explosive traps.
Might come in handy against
And
machines.
explosive traps are
Good
another
idea.
thing that do flat damage, like our spear. So they do 200 explosive traps, do 250 flat damage, which is incredibly helpful. Okay, another room where we're supposed to climb around, but instead we're just going to jump up these vines, jump over, and then I'm going to Hunter's Reflex myself into the environment here and get pushed off. You know, I can only do these skips in my sleep, you know, but yeah, so ideally on this top one you can like stand there normally and then just jump to the long handhold, but it didn't work out this time.
Looks like some kind of meeting room.
So while Varl's looking at something we're gonna craft,
Huh.
There.
like I said, we like having
Hey,
these
Lloyd, over here.
bombs,
I found something you could use.
and
If
then
anything
Varl
happens
gives
to one of
us
those,
Thanks,
I don't
Varl.
know what hit it.
a frost sling,
We should keep moving.
which we're going to use,
After
and
you.
I'm going to run into a door frame, obviously. Okay, so the intended path involves climbing a bunch and then running through an area with a bunch of machines that can shoot electricity at you, and then climbing some more. We're going to avoid that. So wall jump off of this tree up to here, and welcome to Out of Bounds. It's great fun. I'm going to be a little cautious with my slides here because you can get stuck crouch walking in parts of this water. I'm very careful and still get stuck. So rolling is my best option. And I'm walking between rolls because if you roll more than 2 times in a row, you stumble, which is slow. And now to get back in bounds, we restart from save once we see that save circle.
Wow.
Way back at the very
That
first
big
skip where I
metal
had
thing
to
looks like
run
a ship we
in
saw back in the
to
auditorium.
get some dialogue, if I hadn't
Imagine
done that,
going up
it
to the
actually would have
stars
put
in that.
me
Machines
right
patrolling
back
ahead.
there
We can
at that
tap into
restart
the
from
focus
save.
to
So
keep track of
that's always fun.
There's a ladder in the back.
Shoot down another ladder, skill issue, and up we go. And instead of, again, running around, climbing upstairs, climbing a ladder, we're just gonna go over here, precisely jump onto here, onto like a root or something, a vine, wall jump, and up we go. That wall jump is mostly for style points, but it
Maybe I should
does
stick to
skip
my
one
speed for now.
handhold.
Save some
Here,
ammo.
okay. This is where the heavy cancel's gonna get explained. After I failed. We're getting out of bounds, and the way that we're gonna do
Get
that
into the
is
shuttle,
by
have to
doing
figure out how to make it fall into the
is
basin.
by jumping up here, and the way to do that is using what we call a heavy cancel. So after a wall jump, you do a heavy attack, and then immediately after that, you do. When you fail in that manner, you get stuck in there.
Just make it
But
over
you
to
do
the
a wall
shuttle,
jump, you do a
have to
heavy
figure out
attack,
how
and
to
then you
make it fall into
aim.
the basin.
It's a double animation cancel. So the heavy attack keeps the wall jump from propelling you out from the wall as well as boosts you up. And then aiming keeps it from slamming you back into the ground. So here we've succeeded. We've gotten out of bounds. And so, yeah, you do the heavy cancel. Both a grapple launch and a wall jump have the same inputs. So you do the same button sequence for either to either land very nicely after you grapple onto something while propelling yourself up and not having to climb and like heave yourself up, or here as we do wall jumps just to get a little bit of a boost and get to some unexpected places. But here we're just jumping up this wall.
Looks like there are
It's a bit of an
massive clamps
incline
holding
with
the
some
shuttle in
footholds. Waiting for this
But there's a
dialogue,
control
and we'll actually get a
console
save
nearby.
circle, and this is saving
place.
us
If I can release the clamps, the
honestly a
shuttle
pretty
should
decent
fall
amount of time.
right into the basin.
You see the red corners of the screen, I'm at very low health. Restarting from save fills your health, so I don't bother healing. What that skip does, in addition to saving us time, is it puts these machines in a really bad patrol
Control
path.
console in there. Time to crush those machines down.
So, fun fact, at that little thing where you put your palm, until you're in the cutscene, you don't have invincibility, so you can get killed doing that. But getting to the check scene gives you a checkpoint, so cutscene gives you a checkpoint, so that scrounger killing me, not a big deal. And coming around here gets everybody's aggro off. And because I'm hiding, and the scrounger is stupid, sorry bud, I can just pull that out, and I look up for this dialogue, so I get a save, get that checkpoint, and that saves me having to climb up to this point. And the first part of the climb is a little dicey. Again, skipping climbing by a little bit of platforming. We get magnetized and stuck, so that's fun.
There.
And so we're trying to drop, there's 3 snake machines, slither fangs. We've dropped some space shuttles onto them. We're trying to drop the last one down and kill it. Again, we're dropping down here to just do this as a jump to save some climbing time, because that one you have to climb way up and around.
Maybe I was right. But no turning back now.
Yeah, so we have
Almost
to
there.
shoot these cables, and then
There's
it
the
will
other
be in the
connector.
in the boss fight for the tutorial.
I need to take
This is
thing
a
down
two-phase
to get to the
fight.
data center.
There's not a
Scan for
program
weak spots.
death, so if you die, you get sent back to the beginning and have to start all over for this fight. I am actually going to die in this, but that gives us more time to talk about how fighting works in this game. This, we do have a bit of a script for the fight. The script is being generous. the first thing that we're doing is we're trying to hit the acid sac. What that's going to do is keep it from spitting acid at us, which is nice. It's also going to do a fair amount of damage when it explodes and knock the snake down, which will let us plant some bombs. Because again, 250 flat damage when our base damage with our bow is 15 is really, really helpful. So you see there. Ideally, we'd get 2 bombs down, but I have rock select, which is not great. So I'll place 1 bomb. And I'll actually shoot it, so it definitely goes off. And you see the 264 damage just because it was by some components. Now that the acid is done, we switch over to frost bombs, and this is why I was trying to get machine muscle and chill water, because that will just let me craft even more. It does 2 sort of attacks. This one where it like sweeps its head in with an arc and then it just lays there. It gives you the chance to shoot at components like canisters, which is pretty helpful. Those are weak points, and so you can do bonus damage to them. So you see, when you hit it, you get 18, but when you knock it out, you get 33. So yeah, this one is a lot of the same for the rest of the first phase. So I guess I'll start talking a little bit about how damage works in this game. All machines have armored components, they have weak spots. There's the death. I dodged too early to iframe that, unfortunately, so we go again. I do actually succeed this time. So every machine has weak parts, armored sections, and then normal sections. The when you hit a normal section, you just get a number. When you hit a weak section, you get those green arrows. When you hit an armored section, it's red arrows beside the number. If you get a yellow number, that is a critical hit, and a critical hit can happen on any component. So sometimes you get a crit on armor, and it's like, oh, instead of doing 2 damage, I did 3. Thank you, RNG. So outside of rolling for the critical hit chance, everything should do the same amount of damage. Where damage calculations get funky is that the reticle is annoying. Any place that is inside that reticle is where the arrow could hit, and you know, machines don't just stay put. So if the reticle is mostly on the acid sac but a little bit off, it could just fully miss the acid sac. It's great.
Those canisters are exposed now. I should aim for them.
Yeah, so same as before, only, you know, without dying. Going to continue to do frost bombs and try and hit canisters. And then phase 2 is a bit different. I'm aiming for the fins here because I thought it might prevent a very annoying attack in phase 2. I was sadly mistaken. That didn't work out for me, but they are weak points, so tearing them off is still good. So the implication of all of this is that that thing was stuck and now it's free, so it's cleared some debris. The arena's now bigger, but we also have access to some stuff, including these guns. There's, I think, only three of them. I definitely only used 3 of them in this fight. It'd be really great if I could hit all my shots. That'd be helpful. The sonic attack, I thought the fins would. Doing the fins might prevent it. I was wrong. It was worth a try. But yeah, opening up the arena also gives us access to a few more chests and a few more berries so we can heal ourselves. And this is the part of the run where I start to stay at full health as much as possible because I have plenty of healing on me. And that way I can do things like tank a tail whip and not get one shot. Because if I get tail whipped while I'm holding the stupid gun, you can, I can still stand there and heal with berries. I don't have to drop it. So I've used all of my gunshots. I have wasted plenty of shots, and now what I'm doing is I'm going around and I'm hitting frost bombs. You'll see here that when I hit even armored components, I'm doing more damage than I am typically with the bow. It's also leaving puddles of frost for a little bit of damage over time, and you know, 10 damage is still great. It also means that I don't have to aim very well, which we don't have aim assist, and that's a little bit of a struggle, especially with a machine that moves this much to hit the weak components. So now we get to go and do what we set out to do in the first place, which is see if we can find a backup copy of Gaia. Gaia is the AI that makes this world livable. It's post-apocalyptic. There was a robot apocalypse like 40 years from now, so 1,000 years from now, everybody's running around like this. But Gaia, the AI, self-destructed like 20 years ago, so the world wouldn't end, but now the world is ending differently. And we thought that Far Zenith, this company, might have had a copy of Gaia. They didn't, so now we're trying to figure out what to do next. And to do that, I need to climb the spire, which means that I'm going to fall off a board a lot because it's still faster than trying to actually do this properly. For better or for worse, Aloy magnetizes to her climbing points. In this case, it's good. You can just kind of get close, but yeah. You saw the hunter's reflexes there. Let us jump in a U, which is totally physically possible. Yeah, we're just gonna climb this and hear about where there could be more Gaia.
Looks like he tricked me. Transmitted something through the spire.
Which
Did he save Hades?
you'll be shocked to know is the Forbidden West. So
if I can figure out where he sent it.
yep.
Better let Varl and Marag know what I found.
When you have black screens after loading screens, you can actually move, so we do try and move in generally the correct direction. We have an improvement to make to our spear. We're actually then going to jump down and talk to one of our friends. Just start a cutscene, end a cutscene to cancel her dialogue so we can talk directly to Varl and Marad to decide what the plan is. So we're going to the Forbidden West. We have to get to an embassy to get there. And yeah, so now we've reached the dot where the embassy is. I'm going into the skill tree to use some skill points and
I see smoke.
get a
Not
couple of
lot
melee
activity.
skills that I
Smoke's
only
probably
sort of
coming
need
from
right
something the
now,
machine
but
has
it
wrecked.
will allow me
As for
to
the quiet, well,
do a
there's
couple of
work
tricks and then
stoppage in
start me
effect
down the skill
because
tree
of
to something that I
all the
really
fuss.
need.
What sort of machines are
Again,
causing
mostly
the
for
trouble?
tricks, if we're honest.
Nasty ones,
But yeah, so this
lots
is a
of
minute and 28 seconds
Bristlebacks, they're called.
of background information about the
Strangeness is,
Daunt and
they're
what we're
not
about to have to
native
deal
the
with
Daunt. Just
to get the
showed up
embassy to go.
all of a sudden.
No hunters to kill them?
Well, we've got hunters, just none that want to cross Ulvund. Boss of Chain Scrape. He is self-appointed. Work stoppage was his idea.
Yeah, well, I'm just passing through. Got an embassy to attend.
You should have said. That ain't gonna happen no time soon.
What are you talking about?
Hear that? That's your answer.
Who is that?
Karja's son priest. Cranked him down yesterday, about an hour before the machine trouble started. He's a very important man, or so he says. That embassy at Barren Light, he's the one supposed to run it.
Great.
Okay,
Gotta
so
find
we are off to find our friend and then also to go to Chain Scrape, which is one of two settlements. I guess technically four, but one of two important settlements. This is the point at which I am differing slightly from a true any % route, just because I don't need quite as much stuff for what I'm doing. I don't need to. I'm going to get a shock bow, but I don't need to upgrade it for this, so I'm just skipping some looting and some of the upgrade resources. But yeah, we have to go to Chain Scrape, and in Chain Scrape we're gonna upgrade our bow so we get acid arrows.
I'll be able to tinker with my other gear too.
It is actually a quest objective, so even in New Game Plus with a much better weapon, we still have to upgrade this stupid bow.
Don't you think I forgot?
We're also about to go get a mount, but first I'm going to engage in a little quirk. We're not going to call it a
Now I just need to
glitch,
find
because
Aaron
it really
to the
isn't.
bristlebacks.
But what I'm doing is I'm holding and charging a heavy attack right here that I'm using aiming to cancel that animation. And what that's going to do is let me... A tap R2 is still not going to be like a full charged heavy, but like a solid R2 press is going to let me do a charged heavy, and it's going to essentially be released on input. I'm not going to have to hold it to or release it for it to go. So that's going to make that a fair bit faster. So we have a mount. I'm going around to find Aaron's last known location, and here I'm doing this to make sure that this fight only has 2 scroungers instead of 3. And my mount is going to help. So we get the silent strike, so we have the best damage we can at first. I'm doing a heavy, and the mount actually contributes, so... There's a second scrounger. Oh, there it is. I couldn't see it when I was playing, so I'm hiding and scanning.
Gotta find a cauldron to learn how to override machines.
And again, now I'm trying to not get hit, but also to do a full charged heavy. Didn't manage it, but I got the knockdown and I have the critical strikes. And one more heavy, and we're dead.
That's the last one.
So not as clean as it could be, and I really wish my mount wouldn't have gotten involved, but pretty decent, and I'm just gonna go around and loot and try and get some health, some berries, and wait for
Come on over.
Thurless to come over so I can talk to him.
So
Yeah. Prop the van.
I see.
Hold. Yep, more room.
So
I should
Oh, you're
after this, I'm taking a little bit of a detour from what I would normally do.
Should be able to pick up his tracks with my focus.
I undid my you can, if you fully charge a heavy fast travel restart from save or die, you have to reset your
Focus can help me follow them.
little shortcut there. So here I'm actually doing something not required. This is a relic ruin and I'm doing it for skill points.
Could be useful.
So I hopped up there, launched off the mount, and then got onto that balcony to get the key module, and here
Okay.
I'm just jumping over to get here instead of having to drag stuff a whole bunch of places. These are, the relic ruins are all puzzles that we
Looks like this needs some kind of
can
code.
use our game knowledge to
Maybe there's data around
trivialize.
here that can help.
These codes are always the same. So we have a relic and we have an ancient supply safe,
What is this thing?
and I'm going
Oh,
out
hold on to it
here.
for
Now,
Figure out what to do with it later.
normally I'd restart from save, but I'm not going to do that because there's 2 scroungers here, and they're doing what scroungers often do, which is
I could look around more before I
consume
head out. See what else I can find.
machine scraps. And in doing so, they create something called process blocks. This one you can see 3 green stripes down its side, which means it has 5 process blocks within it. So if we loot it, we'll get those blocks, and we need that for some stuff later. I'm just waiting to be able to get the silent strike on this one. And then we go ahead and fight it the normal way. If I were to restart from save, it would not have any process blocks in it, which is annoying. And again, if I were to die, it would also not have any blocks. That somehow worked to knock that down. I don't know. We take those. This one doesn't really need to die, except for it would like to kill me, so die it must. I'm going over to the pile where it was, because it'll have some blocks there. Unbeknownst to me, I only need 3. I would like to have 9 though, so here we go to the next part of the quest, which is
Sounds like someone's
the
putting up a
quarry.
fight.
Or not the quarry, where Aaron is. We're going to take advantage of this guy standing still so we can aim with the acid arrow and hit the canister. That explodes and usually drops that trap, so hopefully someone has died.
It should trigger a chain reaction
And
if I hit them with
here I
acid
head
arrows.
around to the environmental traps. So I stand underneath the trap until I get that sort of flashy exclamation point, which means something's about to attack me, and then just duck away. That didn't really hit anything, but 1 bristleback and 1 scrounger are dead, which is all I really could hope for at this point. Sometimes nothing dies, which is unfortunate. Here, while it's there, knocked down, I just get both of its acid canisters, and based on all the other damage it had taken, I thought it would die, and it did, so I'm just running around and looting. Ideally, I'm getting a bristleback circulator, which I just did, because I want to buy something with it. So while Aaron's making his way down to talk to us, we're just going to keep looting.
How?
I'm okay. I know you. What's it?
I need Aaron. It just
Really? I bet.
Aaron.
Couple. Alone. Listen, if you want, we're gonna need.
Oh, I'll catch.
Well, I get
I'm sorry.
you.
Where?
Hey.
It's
All right. No, you left. What?
what kind of world?
Save it.
That's what I'm.
Well.
Maybe.
No.
And after this, like I said, I want a total. I thought I wanted a total of 11 or 12. I want a total of 9 process blocks. So I'm going to go back out to the scroungers and do that. I'm also spending some skill points to get the half moon / skill, which I'm going to use for essentially animation cancels. Also, by flashing the map, I load in the next fast travel that I need to do. But yeah, so I'm just going over here to this guy who has process blocks in him. Heal him and get those blocks. Okay, and I'm also running away from that scrounger. Trying to call my mount, who is quite close and therefore is just running from where it was. And we're running to the hunting ground right now, so that I can get a weapon and sell some stuff. It's actually two weapons. One is one that I buy, it's a fire bow, because we're going to counter things with fire canisters. And one is a shock bow that is free. And like a silly person, I don't buy fast travel packs, and I'm going to brain fart in a second and think that I can use one when I shouldn't.
Take care, Red. If you're consider it my. These grounds are always open to you.
So here we are, calling the mount, and we're gonna run into the settlement up ahead called Barren Light. I should just run in there and take the free fast travel at the campfire, but I don't, so oops.
Let's go on foot from here.
Also incidentally forget how to get off the charger. We're fast traveling back to the relic ruin because it's right by the quarry. This fight has a set number of things in it, and we open the fight by shooting down a trap, which should kill Bristleback underneath it. And today it does.
One less machine.
I switched to these arrows because I think that the elemental ones make it not... That guy was just running away. I don't know. Here I'm trying to get this guy away from that environmental trap, because you see those bristlebacks up at the back, they're about to run down. I would like to get one or ideally both of them with it. And I got one. There's still a fire bristleback, but yeah, I'm managing to aggro multiple machines to me at once. It's not a great plan, but it works out. So here is actually where I'm going to try and use the Half Moon Slash. It's a bit of a wicked combo. I'm not the best at it. But basically there's input buffering, so as soon as you release the release R2, you hit R1, and as soon as you finish the heavy attack, you're supposed to release the R1, which is the Half Moon Slash, and then aim. There, I did it. And it just lets you cycle through heavy attacks pretty quickly, as well as
another one down.
Hit the resonator spots quite quickly. Yeah, not the Half Moon Slash cancel thing is kind of difficult to see if you if someone's getting it, if you don't really know what you're looking for, if you aren't super familiar with the game. So just trust me when I say it's a really important time save throughout this run, and I'll try and point out when I'm trying to do it and when I'm getting it.
I think I've cleared out most of the bristlebacks. Valley should be safe enough to travel. I'll go give Vladis the good news.
I went there
Maybe
just
this
for
embassy
the
can find what
berries. And this is about the point when I realize that I have made a mistake. But that's okay. We're going back to finish up this quest
Vladis to Baronite.
so we can go to the embassy.
We are on the same side.
What? If you move this,
Hi.
Safe. Very well.
so
Maybe.
I've heard so much yours.
I'm here.
The end.
What?
Got to well.
Not. I cleared out all.
Oh, you
Now that you've.
over there. These
Either.
you.
What?
Chain.
And.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Don't you?
Well, the chain scrape's back to work. Merchants should be open to trade.
So
I
here
should see
I'm
if they have
dithering a
anything useful
little bit.
before I send Vladis off to Baronite. Better see what that card
I
magistrate
have resources to craft fast travel packs from some of the chests, so that's good. And I'm buying the Osram Explorer armor, which looks kind of funky, but it gives us melee benefits. So we do one upgrade, and after the embassy we will hopefully have access to something to give us 2 upgrades,
The way to.
which is part of why I need the process blocks. So now we go down to Barren Light,
Alright,
talk to
I should
some
find
people,
whoever's in charge
and
here.
start
First,
the
I could
embassy.
resupply at my stash. Might be worth taking a look around too.
Lighten up, Pai.
Are you in?
I'm
And maybe.
really, but the command, but the I normally sir, but no, no worry.
Where is the piece?
I'll take the command. This way.
There's a lot of activity going on around here.
The Tanakh tore down this place during the Red Raids. 2 years of labor.
Throughout, all the looting is basically going to be reflexive. I actually kind of don't need
But I hear a certain Nora
loot
got them
at this
back to work.
point.
I was.
Okay, now we invest in skills. Quick Trapper for like 1 part of the embassy. Should be 2, but we don't get acid traps, so that messes with the plan.
Helping out.
Yes, well, I'm sure Ulven was
And
thrilled.
we
Them side soldier.
get our fast heavy
How are we to help? What?
started.
Yes.
We have
Didn't you?
Yeah.
Shut up. Why?
that's in how many bands? If you
The Meridian.
that's right. No, but not.
Well,
So clearly,
So this tribe that
you
we're
know,
on
everything's
is
going to be
about
fine. We're
Tanakh.
just going to get our rite
We
of
need their
passage and
permission to
go.
west.
yeah. Well, I figured it'd be nice if they weren't trying to kill me the whole time.
What could possibly happen?
We're just gonna barge in.
But in reality, we're going to have a fight. We're going to have a 3-phase fight. But we'll talk through the phases, I guess, as they come.
It's gonna calling the sword.
I've seen an arm. A grand attack. Take it from Chief.
Maybe.
Your
Okay, so phase 1 we have.
Archers on the ring.
There's usually an acid trap there. That's very annoying that there isn't. We have riders on chargers. We need to kill 6 of anything, and we're going to use these traps and fire arrows to help because you know, explosions are helpful, and chargers have fire canisters on the back of them. But here we're gonna mostly do melee. So the nice thing about people, when they're knocked down and you get the critical strike, first of all, you get a fun little animation, but they always die, regardless of who the character is. But now, as hitting canisters is kind of difficult, I'm mostly just going to be going for things with melee. And unfortunately, the humans can animation read a little bit. And of course, at some point here, I'm about to lose track of where anybody is. I'm just going to stand around. But yeah, you just have to kill 6 of anything. At this point, I think I've killed 3 things. Yeah, here they've come down again. And lack of aim assist is really a bummer. So yeah, that was the last of my fire arrows. I'm not bothering with making any more. I'm just getting ready for the next phase with acid arrows. I'm also going around to get health berries.
Just you and me now.
And now for this one we need to kill both bristlebacks and the riders, but there's still chargers hanging out. You know, I go for the canisters as well as I can, because if one of those explode with the rider still on it, the rider will die. So that's just, that'll speed things up. And I am trying to do the heavy animation cancel here. It's maybe not working as well as I'd like. With the half moon slash and aiming, but stupid goat. Which, yes, the chargers are supposed to be goats. Run into fire. I'm just taking stupid hits, so health is becoming an issue.
Okay, pain's easing.
But it's sparking, so it's almost dead. This is running away, but this last hit should kill it. If I can actually hit it.
See a
now
shield
we
like
have
that.
a Gaulish champion who we would like to hit with a trap, but first I forgot. In a second, it would ideally be an acid trap. So here, if we could get into a loop, an animation cancel loop, we could get him down pretty quickly.
Now's my chance.
But this is unfortunately a tad bit of RNG. I got the animation cancel, but just, I don't know what it was aiming at. I'd like to get the resonator on his head because that'll do a whole lot of bonus damage, but it did not to be, unfortunately.
Shield's gone. He's vulnerable.
And here, again, the input reading is swell. He just backs off.
Grab this on the go. Gotta get through that shield. He's exposed.
And we've knocked just about all of his armor off.
I've got to break that shield.
The other important thing is how we're doing these heavy attacks is we're hitting his head a lot. And that also means we're landing the resonator mark on his head. So bonus damage all the time. And that was actually a real half-moon slash there. It's meant to help close distance. And I fortunately did not blast him out of the critical strike, which kills him. And there we go, we've done the embassy.
Aloy. Which seems
That's
in the we
for
then home of
this.
although with all
The rep. I don't know.
while you went out, maybe
I can.
there's that
It's.
if
I need to be.
then and
I pre.
son
So now we're going to call our mount before Aloy starts talking. And we're going to ride around, trying to pick up some health, because I'm down to 0 berries, pretty much.
So.
And right across here to a little camp
A whole new
of
frontier to
salvagers.
explore. The coordinates from the spires.
They
should
go
lead
around
to
and get
silence
machine
and
bits. We need some machine
And
bits.
there's maybe.
One is for
It won't be easy out there.
the quest
What's
to
going on
skip
at that camp?
actually getting it ourselves, and some is for our armor and some weapon upgrades. So to start out, we have to get a salvage contract. We're also going to buy some fast travel packs. We need 3 to finish out this run, so that's just what we're getting. But yeah, Fanghorn antlers for the armor, the Leap Lasher Spark Coil for the quest, and I just am making sure I got the right things, and that I'm going up for a Fanghorn circulator, and now that I know what I'm seeing, I saw a fatal flaw. I should have gotten a small machine core as well, but oh well. And I got the burrower circulator just for a bow upgrade.
Okay.
And now we're going for another relic ruin, one that we shouldn't actually be able to do, but glitches are cool.
There's a lot of ancient wrecks out here.
And it'll give us another 2 skill points, which we'd really like. So as we go up here, we kick the wall. That sends the charger through. We use our focus, and then shove both of our sticks in the same direction, and it phases us in. And now we fast travel to this tall neck, which is a glitchy fast travel point. Always.
If I override it,
So
I can get data on the surrounding area.
as we're down here, it was going to talk, and then we're going to call our mount and try and get more berries.
Strong smell.
We're running not in the intended path. The intended path involves a whole lot of swimming. We're running around the edges to avoid that, to figure out what's going on. Our buddy Silence has left us some coordinates to where he might be, and so we gotta see what he wants to tell us. So hopefully we can find Gaia.
This is it.
So Aloy's going to talk some, and we're going to let her get to this line, and then save, restart from save, so she stops talking.
That device is blinking. I guess Silence wants me to check it out.
So we activate this console, and we have to stay in this general vicinity until that hologram is over. But first, we're going to go over here and get this deep water kindleweed oil, and then we're just going to mess around and get on our charger. We're doing this using a jump glide. What's his name's Greta, the last guy in the embassy, his shield You can also use to glide, and that's all we can use it for. So I'm jumping and gliding to get enough air to be over top of my charger. While the hologram is going on, I can't actually get the prompt to get on him. But as long as you're physically above your mount, you can get a prompt. So that's what I did. I'm over here waiting for the hologram to go. This is about as far as you can go. So yeah, this is another point where there are some resources I would grab if I were doing a full game run, but in deference to trying to cut a little time out, and just really get into the meat of what goes on in the first act. We're not going to get those resources. Here we're doing a little bit more dialogue skips. So I'm very carefully not turning my camera to look at something. Aloy has a set line that she will say as soon as the camera sees it, including if you're just trying to do the skip but not mashing through this dialogue. She'll say it, so we're saving it until a specific point to be able to force silence to give us a schematic quickly, and it saves about 30 seconds. Again, we're getting back here. We're trying not to have Aloy see or know what's going on with that. Now, successfully did the skip. I do not need to loot this. I am reflexively looting it. And I'm upgrading all the things I need to upgrade before I do the quest thing. And this is where I'm having a small upset about not having a machine core. But I'm going to go and upgrade my regular hunter bow one more time. Not all the way, because I don't have the materials, but now we go and we make this, which is why we needed the deep water catalytic oil and why we needed that spark coil. In a pure any % story run, it's faster to just get it, but here it's such a pain, and yeah, we're just not gonna do that. I'm drinking the potion here to give myself a little bit of extra health. Until you use the health, again, don't need the shards, but I'm getting it. So until you are damaged enough to lose the extra health or restart from save, you have bonus health. And boy, would I hate to have to restart from save, having just sat there and drunk that to get the bonus health. I'm trying to get up there to get that chest and to do the skip that way, but anyway. Yeah, so this is the site of a massive lore dump, and by doing some itty bitty bits of platforming that I'm marginally messing up right now, we are skipping a solid 5, 10, maybe even 15 minutes of info dump.
Okay, so much.
We've made it across. Good for us.
That thing is huge. It looks like the power's off, except for that console.
Genetic profile confirmed. Greetings, Dr. Sobek. Do you wish to activate Recluse Spider?
I do.
Activating.
Okay, powering it up. That doesn't sound good.
It appears to be unstable.
I'm doing skill points here because I am under the impression that I might be able to build Valor on this fight. I am not, but they take time to do no matter what, so why not?
Data here. Looks like this recluse spider thing is a testing apparatus for Gaia and Hades. I better take a look at that access panel.
Yes, get to it.
So
Okay.
these rings here,
pods are repositories.
or this
One
particular
loaded with
ring,
these backups,
because we're on Ultrahard, it has more health, so it takes 4, I believe, arrows.
So unstick it.
It's not exactly
What we
stable.
would have liked to have a circulator for would have been to buy a sharp shot bow that would have let us shoot them all with hunter arrows. And Eric just didn't do what I needed him to, and so now I can't activate this. So I'm restarting from save, so the whole potion thing was unfortunate. So
You're not safe over there.
yeah, if I'd been able to get the sharp shot bow, I could just shoot all of these once with the hunter bow and then shoot them with the sharp shot bow. But here I'm sort of pre-shooting them. And I'm missing a few shots, as I'll find out later. Basically, when you finally destroy one of these, all of them turn off for a second.
Let me taste the blood.
Eric is very annoying and kind of psychotic. It's really, it makes this fight very unpleasant. So yeah, they all turn off as soon as you get one. So I pre-shot them, basically. So it would only be, if I hadn't missed any shots, it would have only been one, because Eric's pretty chill until you get, until you destroy one or get pretty close to having, you know, them all ready to be destroyed.
You got spunk, girl.
You do need to fully draw the bow.
Quit fooling around.
As we're doing this, I'm trying to avoid Eric's attacks because, you know, damage is bad. I only have so much health, but if you let him get too many, especially close range attacks in a row, he'll essentially, Aloy will get knocked down and he'll go into that, like, special assassination animation, and on Ultrahard it will kill you. So we like that thing that he just did, because it makes him stay put for a second. And here, that's, you know, he sounded like he got really close. He teleported across the room. It's great. So now we're swimming. The walls look funny because I have thalassophobia relief on, so I won't drown. So I don't have to worry about coming up to breathe. Here, so swimming, the fastest way for Aloy to swim is to dodge in the water, but we can only do 2 in a row before she stumbles, including underwater. So I do 2 dodges and then wait for her arms to go. And here we're swimming to this grate and getting the camera jammed into it. So we pick up a checkpoint at the very end of the
It's like some kind of power room.
swim. And so we're skipping over half the swim. So the upshot of all of this is we have found Gaia. We just haven't found any subordinate functions. And Gaia is important, but the subordinate functions you kind of need. So we found where Minerva, sort of administrative type function, could be that would help us find other subordinate functions.
Looks like a satellite dish.
But it's in a mountain that the Utaru essentially consider holy. So we met Zoe, who helped heal us after our little issue, and we helped heal one of her land gods. See, these are their land gods. And now we're gonna see if we can get permission to go into the mountain, which is nice and a little out of character for Aloy.
There's Varl and Zoe. I'm singing it, and I'm throwing that as your. So then, when you're ready, meeting. We'll do it.
So, Zoe and Varl have begun a flirtation, and they're going to meander up. So we're restarting from save to force them all the way to the top, which is their endpoint, as well as giving us a fast travel point. Here I thought I might be able to get the small machine core I needed. Unfortunately not, so off I go.
Nervous?
Bringing it, so it wouldn't. Not gonna happen.
So,
all right.
We're going to talk to the chorus, and now we've learned that the defensive cordon is broken, and the mountain's having issues anyway. So we just get to go. It's great. We get to do what we want. But first, a relic ruin. 4 skill points that kind of don't need at this point, but details. And another one where we're just using some platforming to skip it. I'm having a few issues, so it's going to take me a couple tries, but we just need to launch off. And heavy wall jump and heavy cancel to get over. I'm reflexively looting for things I don't need. Jump gliding, and here we are.
Another one of these relics.
Because our mount is just there, it is easier for us to climb out than it is to restart from save. But yes, okay, so we're fully upgrading this Valor Surge. Yeah, which is totally something we need. And that's a little interesting. I don't know what happened with the video. We just ran around. All you missed was a little bit of running. And here, again, because I'm not finishing the run, I don't actually need any of those things.
I can't reach you there, Aloy.
Yeah, so I'm not looting. Instead, going up here, making sure I have my fast heavy. And here we go. Here we are in Repair Bay Tower. And I'm about to have a brain fart at this fight. Here's 3 elite blasters. They're very annoying. Very annoying. And I'm about to die. Like, very quickly at this particular fight. Yeah. There's a lot of things that don't one-shot you, but like these guys have a lot of things that do.
take them
So
out.
maybe I'm gonna get a strike from above, which is like the worst prompt in the game. Did not work. Look at that. So yeah. This next go round I do get it. Just that they don't have a consistent path, and it's just hard sometimes.
Machines.
So, okay, we're gonna be ready for them, and we're just gonna go.
Machines in here.
Heavy, we're gonna try and do the recovery. We're not really gonna get it a ton in this fight. Got it there. And the important thing that happens with these multiple fights is when you get things knocked down, you don't necessarily go for it. Here I was trying to get the one that was up, it wasn't working. It's always a bit of a mess. I say you have to play this like Souls-like. You just have to be very aware of what attacks are possible. You have to be able to read what attack is coming next and like bail out of attacks. So here, if you know, there's a sort of the shouty exclamation point. I don't need to be looting, but I am. The shouty exclamation point means that you should not take a critical hit. You're about to get hit yourself. Yeah, so here we have further into Tau. We're seeing that Hephaestus, which is more lore than we need to touch right now, is here because of the purple cables. If you've played this game, you know that the next few rooms are these little puzzles that take actually quite a decent amount of time. This room, if you do it all right, takes, I don't know, 5 minutes, and I don't do it all right. So instead of doing that, we skip it, we run around the wall, and we do some platforming. And on console, if you mess up that first jump there, you can dig it out. I am unsure what is happening right now. This was the sketchiest skip, but it worked, so we take it. Yeah, you go from reflexes, my god. The wall, there's a little bit of sort of spike that you land on, jump up, wall jump backwards, and then you're on there. There was a lot of aiming going on there. Here we use the jump glide to get around to this part. After each of these overrides, this prompt is so annoying. I'm restarting from save because that will recharge the override tool, and we get there faster than we would than it would normally recharge, so we need to do the restart. Again, another jump glide.
Looks like there's another node on the other side.
We have a bit of running to do after this one, so we don't restart from save here.
What does it want with this place?
Way to just skip the healing berries, the little mushrooms. Way to do that.
They used to be part of something
Here.
good.
I'm gonna override this door, and then have to skip cutscene, restart from save, and then we will get our fast heavy going.
That dome of light. It protects the machine.
I'm on
There should be a node. I can
bombs
override
right
the override
now.
and shut it down.
This fight starts two ways. One is to put explosive traps down, and one is what I'm doing, which is the silent strike. I can only do one. I can only ever reliably get one bomb down, and so it's the same amount of health, except this is way less risky for me. Tail swipe, way to go. So here we have 4 machines. We have this Grimhorn, as well as a long leg, which I will notably call Murder Chicken, and 2 Apex Scroungers. Everything is at lower than normal health. The not Grimhorn shouldn't bother us until the Grimhorn is dead. Here's another place where I'm trying mostly to do the fast recovery after the heavy, using the animation cancels. It starts working better. Let's just go with that. Here I'm using this Valor Surge. It's called like Critical Boost. It's what I was spending all my skill points on. It doubles the amount of damage I'm doing with a critical hit, which is really nice. But yeah, with these fast R2s, you see I'm knocking this down pretty quickly. So that's mostly how this is going to go. And now I'm seeing something bad, which is all 3 of those machines are very close to each other and none of them are paying attention to me. What I should try and do is maybe shoot one of them to get them out, or get any of their... All of them have something that electric bow would do something for, but instead I do that and I die. So we get to do this all over again.
That dome of light. Is it protecting
But truly this is all it takes.
There should be a
So
node I can override nearby to shut it down.
as before, you start with the silent strike. But here, I'm doing things a little bit better. I'm getting the animation cancel, which is great. And that means I dodge the tail swipe. And he's knocked down. So I'm trying to get between his legs very quickly so I can get 3 critical strikes in. And if I get the resonator blast, then it only takes 2 heavies to get him down, and because of the resonator, I have enough valor to do meaningful critical hits now. Don't know what was going on there and why I'm phasing through him, but there's no damage, so we take it. But I'm succeeding fairly well with the animation cancel, so it's allowing me to be in a really good spot for when he does fall down. To get between his legs pretty quickly. And he's down. So now we survey what is going on. And we have one of the scrappers that is a little further out and is actually coming for us. So we knock him down and now we ignore him. Because, obviously, as soon as we can get at the, that was stupid, but I lived, so we take it. So as soon as this guy's knocked down and nothing's immediately coming for me, I go for the sparkers on his back. So between those exploding and that last hit, everything is done. Everything is down. And now time is when I hit this to override. So that has been Act 1 of Horizon Forbidden West, new any % Ultrahard.